Okay, quick update. Kind of finished, kind of not. It runs, it drives. I'm having transmission issues. I don't know if it's the transmission or the wiring, but I finished it. Starting from the front, stock 4.2 radiator. I just put this Mighty Mouse fan shroud, F body fans. The only issue with running this radiator was the lower radiator hose. There's two hoses, as you can see right there. But the bottom hose is off like a 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and then I just got an elbow so I can fit into the motor. Top one, I forgot the. This is just a quick update. Forgot the size or the number of the radiator hose. But it has F body front accessories, but it's spaced out to a truck. So I have the spacers behind the water pump, but it's misaligned. So something's misaligned, which I think is the power steering pump. So I gotta get new brackets. But that's the front of it. The wiring is a standalone harness. Which I just piggyback for the PCM off this one. Since this is supposed to be for the original PCM, which I believe. I could be wrong. But I piggyback off this fuse to turn on the PCM. And I'll show you the inside right now. Because I didn't really use nothing from the original harness to the engine. The only thing I removed was the harness that goes from this to the engine. All the other wiring stayed the same. Um, the way I ran the charging system, and this is off a Tahoe, and I just plug it in the same way it came off the Tahoe. Um, but yeah, that's it for the front. I am gonna swap this intake for LS1. And then this is the way I ran the fuel line. I know this shit is clamp, whatever it works. But I am gonna switch over to a LS1 intake and a mechanical throttle body because it has too many wires and I don't want to run that. So I am switching to a LS1. But the way I ran the fuel system was I swapped the fuel rails. This one only has a one line that goes to the fuel filter. There's some that come with two, a return and a feed and a return. I switched that one for this one because the way the fuel system is set up, the fuel filter is a regulator and a fuel filter, and it also returns it. So I needed to get this style fuel rail. So that's that. What else? That's it about this area. Inside, it's a mess right now, but so that one wire from the fuse just connects to this one. Almostly, I think all the standalone harnesses are the same thing. You just need power from this from the computer, like a key on. And then this one of these is running to the power bolt. So this one is just where the battery connects to feed the rest of the fuses. So one of these goes to this one. That's for the fuel pump. And then the other one goes to the fuel pump. Because I had to set it, I thought it was gonna run the fuel pump by itself, but for some reason the fuel pump is not running on its own. So I just I connected it this way, because I guess the harness somehow connects into the fuel pump, which is not turning on. So I used the harness to power the fuel pump. The reason I'm switching over to a drive-by cable is because for these, it has electric pedal. So it's electric pedal. But if you want to run the LS type, I'm not sure, but on this one, when I got the harness, I put drive-by wire. So off the harness, there's a second, this little harness that goes into this box, which is, I guess this is the pedal modular, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the name. So from the harness into this box, from this box to this one, and then this goes all the way to the pedal. So the connector on the pedal was different for what originally came with this harness. I got this box and this harness together, but the connector that was on this harness was different from what was on the pedal. But all I did was just cut it, because they had the same colors. They were pinned the same way. So all I did was just cut it, splice it, put the original connector that was on the truck. If that makes sense. I'm sorry if this is all confusing, but it's just a quick update. So I didn't like all this wiring. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap everything over to a drive-by cable, and it's gonna eliminate all this, because this harness is just too much. So that's that. It does run and drive, and then the fuel pump that comes with the 4.2, it seems like it's not struggling. It's fine. The gauges do work. All I had to do was splice it. There's only one connector, it's on top. You just splice the ones that come off the harness, and it works. You just have to find whatever color it matches, or whatever color wire you need to control each one. But right now I only have the tack and the speedometer working. And then once I switch it over to drive-by cable, then I'll try to finish all these. And then so this is what I did to the cross member. I just cut it, and then I just strained it, and then just made new holes. As you can see, it's off. And then the spacer, which is this one, and the cross member fit the 4080. These were on the 4.2.
But I watched the video where you need these, I guess, for it to line up. So these are literally the ones that came off the 4.2 4060, and I just put it on this. The drive shaft, it is the stock drive shaft. The only thing I changed was the the yoke, which I might have to get it extended, but it does work. It doesn't leak from here. It does work for now. But what I did was change the U joint so I could put this yoke to the stock drive shaft, and I also replaced the one in the rear. So this is the stock drive shaft, just different U joints, and on the yoke too. Transmission, the linkage, I use the stock linkage. The only difference is I got the bracket for the 480 and it works. It shit's fine. Um, the fuel system. So what they did with the fuel system was these. What I did was I use a repair kit. So from like right here, there's stock lines that come off the fuel tank, and I use the repair lines, and they give you like a metal fitting, and then you just have to heat them up, and then you can like repair it. So what I did was I just cut them, use the repair kit, shorten them, and then these are stock GM connectors to a Corvette filter, which I just mounted it on the floorboard, and then after that it's just an AM fitting up to the fuel rails. I know this people are gonna give me shit about this fucking plan, but I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. It works. So there's just an update. Once I got it kind of more figured out, like the transmission issue, give you like a better video. It doesn't have no exhaust. The only thing I did put was these off the Tahoe with the O2 sensors, so you can at least read the O2 sensors. But yeah, that's it. I'll start it. Also, I thought I let the stock starter wire on, but I didn't want to start it with the key. So right now the starter is connected to this switch. So what I do is turn the key over, and then just yeah, I just wanted to make this video just to show you that I did kind of finish it. Once I swap the intake and I get rid of all this wiring and clean up everything, put exhaust on it, figure out what's the issue with the tranny. With the tranny, I'm gonna switch it over to a manual valve body through wiring, and then after that I'll make another video
It'll be more detailed next time. It just I didn't want to make it seem like I just gave up or like I sold it or whatever. So I just wanted to give like a quick update. If it doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. But I'll make better videos. I just making a quick video with my phone.